great to make the connection here on Behind the Burners. Got a few questions for you today.
Sure.
How do you balance your family and your work? I'm getting ready. My wife and I are expecting our first child here in December, so getting ready to enter a new chapter that I haven't exactly had to navigate before.
Yeah, I have 3 kids myself. They are older and out of the house, but in the beginning, it is a challenge, and finding that right place that's going to give you that balance, I think is the key. Those work-life balance wasn't really a word, 10 years ago. So, or at least one that I didn't hear. But I think, now in today's market, that there's a lot more focus on that. So good luck.
Great, thank you.
Okay, moving from Texas to Massachusetts, was there any sort of a culinary learning curve, from a member expectation?
Yeah, we in Texas we were very beef heavy. Fish was a part of the rotation. A lot of snappers sold. Don't have a whole lot of access to that up here, but moving up here and getting introduced to shad roe and the popularity of the lobster roll. It's just been a shift in, the protein consumption stays the same. It's just a different product that's getting put out.
Yeah. And are they asking for that shad roe to be dredged in flour with some bacon on top?
Yes, they are.
So that would be the same as they're asking here in the South. So. But I could not get my hands on any this year. I was told that the guys that go fish for it or hunt for it were a little too drunk from the night before and didn't get out there.
We were fortunate. We only had maybe 2 weeks of it, and some of the membership was quite disappointed that it only lasted about 2 weeks.
Yeah, cool.
What's the difference from being a culinary educator to stepping into a country club and taking the reins?
I think that there's a lot of similarities. In the clubs you have multiple outlets and a lot of different areas that you can step in and help educate or find those points where you can give that spark to somebody. And so I do see a lot of similarities, and at least in the club they're not graduating and moving on. They're in the school they graduate, move on. In the club, they're here with me for however long they choose to be. So it's great to see them grow within the club and not just seeing that graduation.
That's good to hear. We I've always been taught that clubs are an educational facility, so I was very curious of the difference between the two. What
was your most challenging evening, and how did you get through that?
Well, down at the club in Texas, we were quite busy, and we had a certain event, and we knew we were going to get crushed, and I basically stacked the deck, and we turned about 450 covers that night. Brought in all the staff that I could. I ran about a 12-person line that night. It was pretty impressive. The front of house leaned on the front of house heavily into the production of that. Really coming together as a team and getting it cranked out led to a wonderful evening and what could have been not a great evening.
Sure.
I'm not a big fan of buffets, and I contemplated putting one out that night, but I held my ground and stood behind the team.
And everybody survived.
Everybody survived, and it was a great night.
Good.
What's your favorite part about what you do?
Right. I think just the learning for myself. It's a career where you can never know everything, and every day there's something that I can pick up and learn myself and pass on. And when you get up there in age, you start forgetting stuff that you learned too. So relearning some of the things that you did as an apprentice, or some opening up a Skokie and kind of taking a page out of there and trying that as a special one night. I think those are kind of the things that still energize me. So,
hey, I just had my 30th birthday 2 days ago. So it's a constant learning
you're
process.
definitely getting up there then.
I learn every day. I'm trying to source a 4/4 cow right now, and going to do a demo with the team on how to break it down and clean it up. So looking forward to that, and it's challenging every day.
Sure. So last question, every chef's desk is different and you never know what you're going to find on there, but anything sentimental or anything cool that's laying around or in the desk right now?
So I took this job here about a year and some change ago, and when I was cleaning out the desk, I came across some menus from back in the day from a few guys that I worked with in Texas, Chef Charles Carroll and Evan DeLong, and pulling those menus out of the desk drawer here was something that was special to me. When I came here, I had a big connection with those guys. And then there's a chef doll from South Park in the office, and apparently that doll has been here since the 90s. It's seen 3 or 4 chefs come through here. It's a staple that exists, and I'm gonna keep that tradition alive.